All right, good evening. I'd like to go ahead and call this meeting to order. The Guthrie Public Schools Board of Education for Monday, November 13th, 2023. Would you please call the roll?
Pearson. Here. Salee. Davis. Here. Smedley. Here. Gerard.
Here.
Schroeder.
Here.
Flagg.
Here.
Mr. President, we have a quorum.
Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we'll observe a moment of silence. Thank you. We'd like to begin with item 6 this evening, is the presentation of Employees and Student of the Month recognition.
Mr. Hancock?
All right, this month we're going to, board and Dr. Simpson, and we're going to acknowledge, I've got to get power here. We're going to acknowledge a couple of our recipients that we missed last month due to photography and them being absent. So as we get this pulled up, I failed to do my job, and I admit that. First one that you'll be able to see would be a student that we had at Favor. The overhead show came on. Okay. Her name would be Macy Lee. Macy was nominated by Ms. Kim Barrett. Some of the things that Ms. Barrett wrote is Macy had been in Favor since January of 2022. And whenever she went into Favor, she had very, very few credits, and I'm going to say it was less than what a freshman who has made it through a year would have. So as she went in with these 7 credits, she is now in 2 years, basically, it'll be Google Slides. And then that one right there.
This one?
Yes. There you go. Sorry about that. She's created enough credits to actually be able to graduate a semester early if she wanted to. So in other words, in these 2 years, she's put together almost 20 credits in that short period. While doing this, she's also matured significantly and even created her own crafting business that she now does at flea markets and other events. She embodies the true spirit of a Guthrie Blue Jay, and that would be Miss Macy Lee, like I said, nominated by Miss Kim Barrett. And then if we can move to the next one. Next, we have our October Certified Employee of the Month, Miss Jasmine Parks. She was nominated by Miss Wright. She was sick on the day that we went to take her picture. Miss Wright stated that Ms. Parks at a minimum goes above and beyond. She truly cares for her students and serves as both a sounding board and a safe space. She is definitely an asset to the high school and the district. All right, if we move on. Our student of the month this month is Alicia Reese. Alicia was nominated by 3 different teachers all in the same month. So she must have an outstanding month. But she was nominated by Colonel Kyle Brigg, Ms. Pam Johnson-Fields, and Ms. Laura Porter. Some of them stated, without reading all of what they had to say, it was written that Alicia is courteous, dependable, loyal, fiercely dedicated to the success of JROTC, as well as friends and peers. As a senior, she quickly demonstrated strong leadership skills and character traits in which she has been entrusted with more leadership responsibilities and projects. Alicia is the most respectful student in all of my classes, and her perseverance is unmatched. She has such a kind heart and a drive for learning. Alicia will definitely succeed in her plans after high school. So Miss Alicia Reese, this is her with Colonel Bree. in that picture. So our next one is our support employee of the month. We will recognize Ms. Lynn Sarasua. She was nominated by a group of ladies at Cotterell. Ms. Lawson, Randy are in the picture, Carol Bowles, Leslie. And they stated in her nomination that Lynn is always going above and beyond to help out with any questions that any staff member may have. She works late nights and weekends to help with enrollment and often helps in many ways that are not considered as her part of the job description. Our district cannot overlook Lynn as there are too many people to list that she helps on a daily basis. Her timely manner and patience are impeccable. And then our last one would be our certified employee of the month. This is Laura Porter. She was nominated by Jasmine Park, who wrote, Laura is a devoted teacher who doesn't see recognition for the things she does. She's been a wonderful mentor for the last 4 years. She is a leader who believes in collaboration and makes everyone on the team feel valued and important. Many of Ms. Porter's students look forward to her visiting them and taking them out to dinner or snack in the park after they graduate GPS. And so that's Ms. Porter. Thank you.
Mr. Hancock, you might mention what...
Each one of our employees, they received their plaque, and then they also received a $25 Sonic gift card donated by the Lions Club. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hancock. I'd like to move to item 7, comments to the board by citizens registered to speak to the board.
We have 2 comments, 2 citizens registered to speak this evening, Mr. Flagg. The first one is Riley Hawkins. Did I say that right? Rye. Okay. Rye Hawkins, if you want to step up to toward the board and approach them so that you get you close enough that the microphone will catch you. And Mr. Flagg.
Okay. Before you speak, Mr. Hawkins, I know this is your first time here. We do have a few rules that we do apply to each board meeting. We allot a total of 30 minutes overall for everyone to speak, and within that 30 minutes, you have 3 minutes as an individual to speak. The board will be very attentive to your comments. So whenever you're ready, we'll start the time, and we'll go from there. Okay?
My name is Ryan Hawkins. I'm 12 years old and in 6th grade. I have lived here my whole life and I've been playing sports since I was 3 years old. I've played soccer, basketball, and baseball. Now I only play basketball and baseball. I'm here this evening because I would like to have the opportunity to continue to play with my teammates and stay at Player Academy. I really enjoy playing with my friends and I would like to be able to keep playing. I still want to go to Player Academy because they give me what I need and let me learn in the ways that are best for me. Being allowed to play sports with Guthrie Public Schools would make me and my friends happy and would allow us to have fun and exercise while being part of the team. This is why I think a player should be able to play and participate in extra activities. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hawkins.
Thank you.
The next person registered to speak is Corley Demuth.
Amen. Corley,
Demuth, I'm sorry.
It's okay, we're used to it.
Go ahead, whenever you're ready, Corley.
Okay. My son's 10 years old. He goes to GPS school. We reside 1 block west of here on Kirby Naples and bicycles. Our biggest discrepancy is that it's 1.4 miles. My son has to walk this every day in the heat, in the cold, in the rain. Every day. I need help. I don't have help. And as a 10-year-old child, it's a lot. You go to a new school, and you go out from home. Sorry. My concern is because Noble and Walnut Beach is considered not school zone. The lights do not go with there's no law enforcement, SRO officer to be there in the area. It's officers. It's caused a few instances that when it was 107 degrees, a lady pulled up and said, "Hey, you know what? You're my son." That was about a straight person was wrong. And he did some air conditioning. And then we went home, he was involved in a total accident, nothing major. And we had 3 police cars coming out there. Imagine being 10 years old and that happens. All you want to do is call your mom. And you know, because I'm at work until 5 o'clock. I'm not sure what needs to be done, but we need help as a community. Single parents, parents that don't have vehicles, etc., that live in town. We've got to change the 1.5 rule. I don't know if we need to pay for people to get 1.5 miles from point A to point B. I don't know if I can schedule this with the board. We all go to gas, we walk together, and I'm going to be told the baby now. I don't know if, come the winter time, I'm not sure if we need to gather. We need to have our backpacks and our lunch boxes and walk 1.4 miles. It's freezing to go together. But it's super fun when the rain spot. I do wish that we could consider this because we need help. We're just going to be the children that need service, that need the lovers, that need to see.
Thank you, Corey. Okay. Item 7B is comments to the board by board members. There being none, we'll move to item 8, which is superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, we've had a lot of success with our students since the board last met. Our softball team advanced to the state finals, losing a heartbreaker at Piedmont in the bottom of the 7th inning. This is the first time the softball team had advanced this far in the playoffs, so congratulations to those young ladies. The Guthrie High School cross-country team closed out a highly successful season at the state meet. The girls finished as the state runner-up, while the boys finished 5th. Both teams improved on their showing from last year, so congratulations to those young folks. And then our FFA students traveled to Indianapolis for the annual convention. While there, our livestock judging team of Mason Garrett, Stephen Sanders, Ridge Garrett, Kansas Zubrod claimed the national championship in livestock judging. Then our football team won their first round playoff game against Lawton MacArthur at the Rock on Friday night by a score 49-21. They now advance to the next round and will travel to Del City. This will be the matchup of the number 2 and number 3 ranked teams in the state, and the games are scheduled for Friday evening at 7 p.m. Last Friday, many of our schools had Veterans Day assemblies. The high school band, choir, and junior ROTC participated in the parade and ceremonies at Honor Park. And today, the high school had an all-school assembly. And I'm very proud of how our students and staff show their appreciation to the veterans of our community. And of course, thanks to all the veterans that for their service to our country. A little update on Long-Range Planning Committee. They have met once. We will meet again on November 30th as we begin the process of planning for providing recommendations to this body on what the priorities for future capital projects will be. And then the last thing that I have is our Site Teachers of the Year. And very proud of this bunch. Charter Oak, Joe Avey is an interventionist. At Fogarty, J.J. McKnight, a 4th grade teacher. At Cotterill, Denise Rainey, 1st grade teacher. At Central, Cynthia Hedge, a 4th grade teacher. At Guest, Sarah Schleter, special education teacher. The junior high, Chris Rainey, 7th and 8th grade STEM teacher. At the high school, Kyle Breed, the 9th through 12th junior ROTC instructor. And then also at the high school, Megan Hutchison, ninth grade, the art teacher for the high school. Just a reminder of the board that we will announce the District Teacher of the Year at the February board meeting, and we always move that one to the high school cafeteria because of the crowd that shows up for that. So that's my report, Mr.
All right, Dr. Simpson, thank you very much. Item 9 is the presentation of Guthrie Public Schools college remedial rate, ACT composite, and ACT scores from the graduating class of 2023 by Mr. John Hancock, Executive Director of Personnel and Secondary Education.
Okay, thank you again, Dr. Simpson, President Flagg, Board of Education. As we look at, go ahead and go to the remediation. As we look at this remediation guide for our college students, I must say that this goes back to 2021 graduating class, because they give you 2 years for those students to be able to show completion of college or where they're at for their associates. So as we look at this, you can notice that in science, Guthrie has, out of their 45 students that they show that went to college from that class. Now, what I want to remind you is those students that may have went out of state or may have went to some private institutions in state or have went to VOTEC, those students are not counted. That's why we look at, for ours, it's 45 students is what they have counted as college attendees. So out of those 45, 100% of our students did not need any science remediation while they were in college. They did not take any of the 0-level courses for science. When you're looking at that, 95.6% of our students did not need any remediation in their English. So only 4.4% of students needed remediation there. Math was where we kind of dropped a little bit lower than the state average. We had 73.3% of our students did not need remediation, so that basically says a little over a quarter of our kids need to take the 100 or 0-100 level courses in college, with the state averaging at about 15%. Reading-wise, again, we had no students that had to take any remedial courses in that as well, with the state having an average of 94.3 not having to. So those need remediation. I know I had to change this up a little bit if you look at the slide. So that just says that 31% of our students had to take some kind of remedial course, which majority of that being in our math or science, and this is kind of a true tell that our kids are being successful. We're doing what we need to do in our high school with a little bit of help in math, and it's just making that transition so that we can continue on. So that would be our remedial aspect in college, and we will go on to the next one, which will be the discussion of our ACT scores. Now, whenever we spoke previously on our ACT scores, I had to go back a year because we had not received an updated thing. Well, we have received our updated, so I thought I would present to you our newest score level. As you're looking at this, in math, our students average a score of 17 points, where the state's average is at 16.8, so we're above state level in our math. Our science, our students average a 17.8, where the state level is at a 17.2. In science, technology, education, mathematics all together, we average a 17.6. We're a little bit lower, the state averages a 17.8. And then reading-wise, we are at a 17.8, where the state averages at 17.9. English language, ELA, we average at a 16.7, where the state averages at a 16.8. But if you put all these together, all these numbers together, We average it at 17.4, and the state averages at a 17.4. So we do have room to grow, but we are meeting state averages on our, as of last year's ACT scores. So any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hancock. Item 10 on our agenda this evening is the approval of the consent agenda.
Mr. President, I move we approve the consent agenda. Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Pearson,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Clag,
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 11 on the business agenda. Item A is the recommendation, consideration, and action to adopt calendar of regularly scheduled school board meetings for 2024.
It's a statutory requirement on page 64 of your board packet. The 12 regularly scheduled board meetings are listed for your approval. We stayed with the second Monday on all except for July. We had the way July falls, sometimes we have to move that one based on where July 4th is and how we will be closed, and so that one moves to the third Monday of the month. Everything else stayed the same. Recommend approval.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we adopt the calendar of regularly scheduled school board meetings for 2024.
Second. There's been a motion and a second to approve the adoption of calendar of regular school board meetings for 2024. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Pearson,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Clag,
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 11B is the recommendation, consideration, and action upon agreement with IXL Learning for the 2023-2024 school year.
This is an online program that we have utilized in the past. This will be a federal funds expenditure, and Ms. Walters is available if any board members have any questions. Recommend approval.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the agreement with IXL Learning for the 2023 and 2024 school year.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the agreement with IXL Learning for the 2023-2024 school year. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Pearson,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Clag,
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 11C is the recommendation, consideration of action upon agreement with Laura Carter, DBA Reading for All, LLC.
Ms. Carter is a reading specialist that we want to use school improvement federal funds to fund her contract. She will not be on staff. She will be a contract reading specialist based at Guthrie Upper Elementary. This is on page 70 of your board packet, and recommend approval.
Mr. President, I make a motion we approve the agreement with Laura Carter, DBA Reading for All, LLC.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the agreement with Laura Carter, DBA Reading for All, LLC. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Pearson,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Clag,
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 11D is the recommendation, consideration of an action upon agreement with the Center for Communication and Engagement.
Pages 77 through 81 of your packet contain this agreement, and this will be for the remainder of this fiscal year. We have utilized Ms. Kennedy before and want to allow her to video work and also with some things on communications with the district. Recommend approval.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the agreement with Center for Communication and Engagement.
Second. There's a motion and a second to approve the agreement with Center for Communication and Engagement. Any further discussion?
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 11E is recommendation, consideration, and action to approve PCCO number 002 for Lambert Construction.
This is the last of the change orders that we are trying to complete for some of the work that was done at the high school restroom renovation, or I'm sorry, the junior high on below. This was a part of the stairwell, I believe. Sean's here somewhere. So this is one of those items that we identified in the course of the construction, and it was a have to do on coatings to weatherproof it. Recommend approval.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve PCCO number 2 for Lambert Construction Company.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve PCCO 002 for Lambert Construction Company. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 11F is the discussion, consideration, and vote to award contracts for construction of the new Cotterell Elementary School to the lowest responsible bidders, as follows in your packet.
You'll have a lengthy list of bidders. We opened the bids on November 3rd, I believe it was, and we have the listing. And a reminder to the board, this is a little bit different process than what we have engaged in recent memory with use of construction management versus a general contractor. And we have already selected Crossland Construction as our construction manager at risk, and they conducted the bid tabulations and provide us with the recommendations. And I would ask anybody from the Crossland team if there's anything they would like to add to that.
As far as consideration, no, we followed Title 61 entirely in our efforts, and we're really pleased with the efforts and had a lot of involvement from the local submarket to produce this very good bid.
This is item F that's on your packet. There's an additional item that we'll have to consider as well for the guaranteed maximum price. Any questions from the board members about the bids or any of the subcontractors that were approved?
But other few items they had rebid, will those come back before, after? How's that work?
Yeah, they'll come back. And Aaron, you guys, what's the timeline?
Sure.
on that?
So we're prepared to do it pretty immediately. The reason for just a few of the rebids that we'll have to go through were kind of clerical in nature somewhat, specifics of a bid package. A lot of times if we're going to kind of nix or recommend rejection of a certain trade scope, it's in the benefit of the school. We either believe there's a lower price out there, maybe there's a little mixed communication on some of the trade packages, anything like that a second, third, fourth sub might have an issue with, could come back and potentially file a claim on the school. So we want to protect that, get things cleared up and rebid it. Nothing that we're rebidding impacts our critical path for construction at all. Something we could bid out this next month or 4 months down the road and still continue on with construction.
Thank you.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the contracts for construction of the new Cotterell Elementary School to the lowest responsible bidders as followed in our packet.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to award contracts for construction of the new Cotterell Elementary School to the lowest responsible bidders as follows in the board packet. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 11G is the discussion, consideration, and vote to accept the guaranteed maximum price proposed by Crossland Construction Company for construction of the new Cotterell Elementary School and to approve amendment number 1 to the construction management contract between Guthrie Public Schools and Crossland Construction Company dated August the 14th, 2023.
This document is pages 84 through 113 in your packet. Feel very encouraged by where we are with this tabulation, and we believe that this guaranteed maximum price places us within our budget, and we can continue going forward. Aaron, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, no, not other than we were very pleased with how it turned out. I think our final budget, which is our estimate that was submitted, was around $17.2 million. To set a GMP at that 16.9 really, speaks to the involvement of the community, the subs, really putting their best effort forward. More bids equals a better price. So we're very pleased with it, and came in very accurate to our budget.
Quite early on, we're much higher than this and would not have allowed us to move forward with construction. And just a reminder to the board and everyone else that, Sean, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe the original budget when we passed the bond issue was around $13 million on this project, but we were able to shift a lot of the bond projects that we had promised the community into COVID money so that we could have the additional funds that we knew with the volatility that was coming around with the construction industry to allow us to complete this and have the money to make this work. So kudos to Crossland Construction for working for us on that. I would recommend approval of the guaranteed maximum price. If the board members have any questions, that's why I wanted to have Crossland here.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we accept the guaranteed maximum price proposed by Crossland Construction Company for construction of the new Cotterell Elementary School, and to approve amendment number 1 to the construction management contract between Guthrie Public Schools and Crossland Construction Company dated August 14th, 2023.
Second. There's been a motion and a second to accept the guaranteed maximum price proposed by Crossland Construction Company for the construction of the new Cotterell Elementary School, and to approve amendment number 1 to the construction management contract between Guthrie Public Schools and Crossland Construction Company dated August the 14th, 2023. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Clyde.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Thank you. Item 12 is the proposed executive session for the purpose of discussing employment of personnel, FMLA request, resignation, separation from employment, and transfer of position request. All is set out on the personnel reports and discussion of extra duty assignments as listed for 2023-2024. Discussing the purchase or appraisal of real property, disclosure of which information would violate the confidentiality requirements of state and/or federal law, all pursuant to 25 Oklahoma Statute Section 307B, 13 and 7.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to move into executive session. Roll call vote, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Clyde.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes.
would.
All right, only items in agenda number 12 were discussed in executive session and no votes were taken. This shall constitute the executive session minutes. Item 13 is to vote on action as set out on the personnel reports.
Mr. President, before the board considers the personnel report for this month, this afternoon I received a request to rescind the resignation of Martha Canales from the high school cafeteria that is listed on there, and I would recommend that the board accept that request and remove her name from consideration for a resignation.
Mr. President, I make a motion we approve the personnel reports with the exception of the resignation of Martha Canales.
Second.
There's been a motion to approve the personnel reports with the exception of Martha Canales. Roll call vote, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 14 is action upon recommendation of extra duty assignments for 2023-2024.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the extra duty assignments for 2023-2024.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the extra duty assignments for 2023-2024. Roll call vote, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 15 is the recommendation, consideration, and action upon approval of Sherry Berryman to be classified as adjunct teacher for English intervention at Guthrie High School.
And Board, I would call your attention to page 117. Ms. Berryman needs to renew her certificate, and so that is why we've got to have her listed as an adjunct. You may remember she retired. She has English on her certificate. She's certified in English, but just needs to renew her certificate, and she's helping us out with this. And so we need to consider her as an adjunct interventionist until such time that we have the renewal of her certificate.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve Shelley Berryman to be classified as an adjunct teacher for English intervention at Guthrie High School.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve Shelley Berryman as classified as the adjunct teacher for English intervention at Guthrie High School. Roll call vote, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 16 is the recommendation, consideration, and action to approve contract for the purchase of real property.
Mr. President, for the board, the property that we are considering is located at 211 West Vilas. It is adjacent to Gelsman Stadium and Squires Field. The purchase price is $105,000 plus closing costs, and with a January close date. Paid for out of building fund. Recommend approval.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the contract for the purchase of the real property as explained by Dr. Simpson.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the contract for the purchase of real property. Roll call vote, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 17 is the recommendation, consideration, and action to accept any resignations offered since the posting of the agenda.
We have none.
Item 18 is a discussion and possible action on any new business not known about or could not have been reasonably foreseen at the time of the agenda posting.
We have none.
And item 19 is a motion for adjournment.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion passed. Meeting adjourned.